Hello and welcome to our video series. This is Rahul Kapoor and it's a pleasure to talk to you today on this wonderful topic called anger management. Now, what I want you to really understand is this, that our emotions and our judgments really have an impact. The way they work together really can be the key to how we react with people in various conversations and situations. If we were to look at our emotions, and as our emotion level keeps going higher and higher, what happens to our judgment level is it keeps going lower and lower. When the emotion is at the highest level, that is when our judgment is at the lowest level. Now, in this case, the emotion is anger. So what happens when you're really angry? Your judgment level is really low, and then you do things, you say things that you don't really mean. Unfortunately, people remember exactly only that, and that becomes the root cause of strained relationships. So first things first, what I want you to do is to become aware of how your emotion and your judgment works together. It's only sane for you to know with this new awareness that when your emotion level is really high, it's really a good idea to be quiet. It's a good idea to be aware and tell the person that, hey, listen, you're not right now in that state for you to have the conversation, and delay it by a couple of hours, maybe a day if you really wish to also desire. Then you're going to give yourself a chance to kind of allow the emotion level to come back down, judgment level goes up, and you're able to do exactly what you need to do with your brain in its place. Now, I do know this, that a lot of people keep asking me about how we can try and overcome anger in the long run. Well, of course, I always recommend meditation as one of those most powerful ways of gaining an access and control over your anger. But here's something that you can do on a daily basis, and I promise you that in about 12 months you can have a huge impact made in this area of your life. So the first technique that I have for you is called a daily journaling. What you do here is basically every night, just before you go to sleep, spend about 10 minutes time, maybe less than that as well, to just journal down exactly when you experience anger throughout the day. 3 experiences is good enough. If you can quickly single out that situation which made you get angry, the person who was involved, really how you felt, what did you say. The next question is, were you really proud of what you really did then? If you feel no, then what could you have done instead? And that's all that you need to do. Now, 3 experiences per day might mean about a 1 page or 2 page of journaling, and that's all that you need to do. Have one good book with you, keep on writing, and you will be able to try and get all your thoughts in that one place, which becomes your page of insights to know exactly how you behaved on that one day. Now let's go on to our step 2. Now this is called the weekly assessment. I really am a big fan of this concept, because what you really do now is you take some time off to reread those experiences that you've journaled down on those 6 days of that week. So you need about 20 to 30 minutes in isolation to be able to read these experiences. My personal thoughts on this is that the moment you start reading them, after a little while, you'll realize this, that half of what you did was not worth doing. You're going to get this weird feeling up here in your chest, which is going to give you an indication that that was something which was not worth doing. And if you get that feeling, you're on the right track. Let's go on from there. We go on to the third one, and I call this the monthly assessment. Now this is really where you want to start making some changes with a lot of integrity and honesty. Ask yourself, really, once you have come into that monthly assessment, having done things in terms of writing daily and then reviewing weekly, you've gone through 3 weeks of that. So the 4th week is your monthly assessment. This is the time where you really have to ask yourself, what is it that you really want to change? What is that behavior? What is that reaction which is not helping you? And you got to make a commitment to yourself that you want to change it, you want to overcome it. Till you don't pass through that phase, you really can't go any further. And if you can pass through this phase, I can promise you some incredible results will really come your way. 4th is called the 6 months assessment. Now this is an interesting one. This is the stage by which time you should be able to overcome 50% of your anger. Yes, 50% of your anger. Now the question you will have in your mind is it practically possible at all for someone to do that? And the answer is yes. Question how? Well, simply because even though you've lived with anger for 20, 30, 40, 50 years of your life, remember, you've never been so conscious about the thoughts that are going in, the situations, the people involved, your reactions, and you've never done the daily journaling, you've never done the weekly assessment, you've never ever spent time on the monthly assessment to see what you want to change. But now that you're doing this, and you're doing this for 6 months back to back, that's a good enough time for your subconscious mind to kick in and start rewiring your brain. And if that happens, then I assure you 50% change is assured, is guaranteed, it's going to happen. And your final goal, of course, is the yearly assessment. By this time, you should have been able to overcome about 80 to 90% of your anger. And if you can do that, that'll be a tremendous achievement. Let me wrap this piece up by telling you how this impurity called anger is going to work with all that I've shared so far. Now, look, anger has been attached to our soul, and it has been interfering with our peaceful existence for centuries now, right? And every birth of yours, if you believe in soul, that is, and even if you don't, at least in this life, it's been interfering. So what you need to understand is this: that while doing an exercise like this, what's a good test to see whether you're improving or not? Here's what you can try. If you at this point in time get angry on 15 out of 15 things, and after about 6 months or 1 year, you're able to recognize that you get angry, all right, but not on those 15 things as they were, but only about, let's say, 3 or 4 things. Now that's a good improvement. Earlier, if your anger was lasting for about a day or 2 or even 3 days, and now if your anger lasts only for about an hour or maybe lesser than that, now that's a good progress as well. Earlier you would get angry for every small and big thing, but now you can recognize the small things and you just laugh it out. That's another good assessment. So really speaking, I think what I've really tried to do for you in this session is to help you understand how the emotion and the judgment level works, and how you can try and get control over anger. And the way to do that is by daily journaling, weekly assessment, monthly changes, 6-month impact to see about 50% changes happen, and of course in the yearly assessment to see about 90%. Now the question is, what about the last 10? Well, you must be super lucky to be able to overcome your anger completely in this one lifetime. If you really so desire, then meditation will be the only way for you. But 90% is not bad at all, and that can change your life, that can change relationships, and that can really make you a different human being. This is Rahul Kapoor, and I hope that you enjoyed this session. If you like this, then don't forget to share it, subscribe, and of course, be in touch with me as we go along. Thank you very much, and have a great life ahead.